Hi, I'm Tami Welcome to my free workshop. I'm so happy that you've taken this step to learn more about meditation. So who am I and why should you be listening to me? I'm a best-selling author, speaker, meditation teacher, intuitive healer, and long-term meditator with 20 years experience. I'm also incredibly passionate about the benefits of meditation and have been teaching for the past 15 years in Australia, working alongside big companies and organizations like ESOP, Melbourne Football Club, Sydney Swans, as well as individual clients. So much so that I went back to school at 40 years of age and got my PhD and wrote my dissertation on meditation. So in this workshop, you're going to learn why meditation is the single most important tool to relieve stress in your daily life, no matter where you are in your life right now, and without having to sit cross-legged in a cave. And you will also witness how I've helped many people like yourself move through stress and emotional barriers through a consistent meditation practice. And I know this sounds unbelievable because many of us experience stress all the time in our lives and we're not aware that we can actually live our life in a different state. But if you stick around, I promise you that together, through my guidance, you will understand that achieving inner peace and greater presence is totally achievable. Mark my words. And I thought I'd share with you here a testimonial of one of my former students, Kim. And she writes, I'm a wife, a mother of 2 teenagers, and a full-time worker. There were times I thought my stress levels were off the chart. I was always on the go. I felt like I was being pulled in all different directions, not knowing how to relax or just breathe. Tami has helped me immensely. I highly recommend her as a teacher if you're wanting to discover more on the amazing benefits of meditation. I now specifically block out times to meditate during the day, even if I'm at work. I still get stressed sometimes, but my level has dropped significantly. I try my best to meditate every day, but truthfully, there are days that I miss. My husband and kids are able to pinpoint days that I miss, and they call it on me right away. I have many more to share, and I'll save them for later. So is this for you? Are you desiring more fulfillment and happiness in your daily life? Then meditation's for you. Are you tired of being stressed and time poor? Then meditation's for you. Would you like to experience more abundance and creativity in your life? Then this is for you. Are you desiring more energy and vitality in your life? This is for you. And does peace of mind appeal to you? If so, this is for you. So here's what you're going to learn during this workshop. You're going to learn how your thoughts are influencing every aspect of your life, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, and the huge benefits of meditation. You're going to understand the impact of stress on your health, relationships, and quality of life. And after 20 years of meditating myself, I will teach you the missing link in your formula for well-being. So let's just start off with a huge list of benefits of meditation. And the number one benefit of meditation is it reduces stress and tension. And if you can imagine how you operate when we're feeling stressed and we're feeling tension within our bodies, physically, we don't feel as on. Our muscles might start to tense. We might have body aches. Our breathing may become shallow. And stress starts impacting all areas of our life. So if you have an ability to reduce the stress and tension through a meditation practice, then what happens is as the body relaxes, you start experiencing an increased sense of well-being. Your mental clarity is sharpened and your ability to focus increases. And the reason this occurs is that your left and right hemisphere of your brain becomes coordinated when you meditate. So that means your analytical, the left side of your brain, becomes coordinated with the right side of your brain, the creative, intuitive side of your brain. When this happens, you're actually able to get aha moments. And that is why the fog clears. You have these moments where you really have some insight. And this is how you start seeing that meditation impacts all areas of your body, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. You also experience this sense of greater calm and insight. Because when you're feeling less stress, emotionally, you're not on edge. So you have this sense that everything's going to be okay. When you set and repause, what that does allow your body to do is recharge. You get increased levels of energy. Your time is used more effectively. And I'm going to speak a little bit more about that later in this workshop. But that is a huge benefit of meditation. If you can use your time more effectively and efficiently, what happens is you tend to procrastinate less and you become much more efficient in your day-to-day life. And lastly, personal relationships are enhanced. And the reason this is so powerful is most of us are unaware that stress is the #1 precursor to poor communication. So if we're feeling stressed and we're unable to communicate effectively, it impacts all of our relationships, be it with our husband or wife, our children, our friends, our colleagues, etc. So you have this ability, once you're meditating, if you're less stressed, to improve your personal relationships. The impact of stress on our health in this current age has been huge, and some of the scientific data backing this up right now, current stats, are pretty alarming, with stress-related health problems responsible for 80% of visits to the doctor. 1 in 5 Australians are now experiencing some sort of mental health issue, be it anxiety, depression, or some sort of stress leave. So this impact of stress, I've already said to you just before, it impacts every area of your life. You've seen how it impacts your communication and your ability to effectively have these positive relationships where you're feeling that you can communicate effectively. We've seen how it impacts our health with body aches, lowering our immune system, our breathing becomes shallow. And I think what's really key here too is that from an emotional standpoint, if we go into a state of worry, that's the #1 most draining emotion a human being can experience for the immune system. So if you tend to worry a lot, what happens is you are wasting or using up, not wasting, excuse me, you're using a lot of energy, and that lowers the immune system, so you tend to get sick more often. So do you want to create a happier, healthier, and more fulfilled life now? I'd like to talk to you because this is the missing link to your formula of well-being: self-care of the mind. Education in the past, and this is going to be based on my experience, not only as a mother of a 22 and a 23-year-old, and my boys got their education in Australia, but also when I grew up in the States, just what we were taught in the education system. And I'm not really convinced it's changed too much, to be honest. What we've always been taught is that if we got enough sleep, drank enough water, we ate our 3 food groups, and we exercised, that was our perfect formula for well-being. And the missing link really was about self-care of the mind. No one talked about giving our mind a rest. That was actually not part of the equation, and that is what is so critical in today's society. Did you know that on the average, the average human being has 70,000 thoughts per day? So if you start thinking about that, and if you for one moment start to count those thoughts yourself, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., and you have to count 70 thoughts, consider how much of a overload that is at time. If you've had a really stressful day, your mind is racing, you don't feel like you're in control. And so our mind needs this pause to re-energize and reset. And it's been scientifically proven that a consistent 20-minute meditation per day is equivalent to 4 hours sleep. But what's important to note about this is that consistency is key. And when you go into that meditative flow, where you have that left and right hemisphere of your brain coordinated, that is how you get this significant increase in energy levels, vitality, and feeling as if you're in this state of very deep rest. However, you feel alert. So that is this equivalent of getting this extra 4 hours of sleep. And I thought I'd share with you now, because I've spoken about the benefits of meditation, a little bit about my unique story and my journey with meditation. So 20 years ago, as a mother and wife of 2 young children with no family support, I left my country, family, friends, and career. I was really burnt out, and I felt like I had nothing left in the tank to give, but I didn't realize it at the time. And it wasn't until I learned to meditate that I began to see and understand for myself that my life could be experienced with so much more joy, vitality, patience, and less stress. You see, you don't know what you don't know. So I used to be this chronic yes person. I said yes to everything. And maybe some of you can relate to that. And part of this was because I believed falsely that I had to be a superwoman, super mom, the super friend. I just kept going, even if I was tired. I didn't ask for help, and I falsely assumed that I had no options. I remember saying yes to being a class parent for the third term in a row for both of my son's year groups. And I was just thinking, how did I get in this situation again? Why am I always saying yes when all I wanted to do was say no? So what was going on? But then something amazing happened, because the longer I meditated, I noticed I had more energy and patience. My stress levels dropped. I learned to take better care of my health and well-being, which included setting some really strong personal boundaries. But this didn't happen overnight. But the point in telling you this story is that it did happen, but it wouldn't have happened without meditation. So you may be thinking right now that you get the same benefits from running or exercise. And this is where I want to stress to everyone listening. I understand that it feels great sometimes you go for a run, or perhaps you're working in a garden and you feel like you go to another place and that's relaxing. The difference with a meditation practice, however, is that your body is at rest. So you're linking the body and mind. And my definition of meditation is learning to relax the body and quiet the mind. It's a form of relaxation. And if you think of it that way, you can see how when you're running or you're exercising, your brain is not resting, your body's not resting, because it's still giving commands of what to do. And obviously you're exerting energy. So this is a very different state of being, because I'm asking you to be still when you meditate. You might also be thinking that you could go to bed earlier each night to experience more energy and less stress. And yes, sleep is important. However, the average human being has 5 to 7 dreams every night. And that's whether or not you remember them or not. So that's the average statistics here. So when you go to bed at night, some of us have had the experience of waking up the next morning and we've tossed and turned, or we wake up and we feel like, oh, I could do with another couple hours of sleep. So what's actually really going on there? If going back to the statistic that I gave you earlier about having 70,000 thoughts in our day-to-day lives, if we've had a really stressful day, and every day is different, we're all unique, we have different stresses each day in our lives, then it's incredibly powerful if we're able to actually go into that state of meditation and quiet the mind. Because then when we sleep, we're able to have a more restful state of sleep, where our mind is not still thinking and racing. It's actually slowed down the number of thoughts and pause. So that's this benefit you start to experience. You may be thinking you don't have enough time in your day to meditate. And again, I mentioned that I was going to go back to this. What the scientists have proven is that you will procrastinate less, you'll become efficient and orderly in your day-to-day tasks, which means you get more done in less time. So although I'm asking you here, when you have a consistent meditation practice, that you might be thinking, but I'm actually giving up time. I'm giving up my 10 minutes a day to do this. If you can just remember, and it's the greatest paradox to meditation, that even though you are sitting and pausing and you're not doing anything else, you're not doing your emails, the reality is you are creating more time in your day due to the benefits you experience. So here's the thing. The scientifically proven benefits that you gain from a consistent meditation practice are not available to you in any other form other than meditation. You cannot buy it. Science has not come up with a pill that benefits all areas of your life, let alone has no negative side effects from its use. So here is the $1 million question. Do you believe that your health and well-being is valuable to you? Are you prepared to embrace a technique that's been proven worldwide in more than 33 countries and 800 research and review papers? Say yes to meditation, as you are worth it. The next step is simple. Start practicing meditation on a daily basis. Build your practice and reap the benefits. Key to meditation is trusting your practice. The benefits are on the inside. So if we were to go to a gym, I'll give you an analogy here. It's very easy for us to see that we could run further if we're on a treadmill or at a faster pace. Or perhaps if you're lifting weights, you can see if you can lift more weights or you can do more reps. You actually visually see something readily in front of your eyes that tells you you're improving. With meditation, because the changes are on the inside And I related that to you about my story of the longer I meditated, all of a sudden I was able to make some really strong personal boundaries. I started shifting. Because your benefits are on the inside, oftentimes it's hard to think that you're actually gaining some benefits. And so this is where I'd like to give you another one of my personal stories. It was 3 months into my meditation journey, and a neighbor across the street came over and she said, "What are you doing? You seem really different." And I said, "Nothing." You see, because the penny hadn't dropped yet. She said, "No, you seem really different. You're so much calmer." And she said, "But you just have this energy around you. You look like you're feeling a lot better." And then the penny dropped. It was my meditation practice. That was the only thing that had changed in my day-to-day life in the last 3 months. And then it reminded me of what my teacher had said when I was learning to meditate. She said, "You may not notice the changes yourself, but it will be those around you that point out that they are seeing for themselves a change in you, that you will then get the so-called penny dropping moment," which was exactly what happened to me. So meditate with consistency, because that is going to be your key to success. So I wanted to dispel some of the myths of meditation and why this is for you. There's so many myths out there, and I think it's important to actually clarify them now, so that we can shift anything that may be coming up for you even during this workshop. So meditation does not require that you have to go live in a cave, chant, have dreadlocks, wear hippie clothing, sit in a full lotus position. It's a very simple tool to use to relax. Meditation is not a religion. There's no need to go to India or anywhere else to find peace. Peace can be experienced inside of you anywhere. Any man, woman, and child can learn to meditate. And everyone has the ability to train the mind to relax. What I'd like to highlight here, and as I've been teaching for 15 years, it is interesting. Some people, what they get afraid of is actually just sitting and being still. So they tell me that their mind's too busy, they can't do this. What I'm asking you is to trust yourself, because you are worth the effort. If you can learn to sit, even if you have a mind that is racing, the benefits you will start experiencing in your life far outweigh any initial feelings of being uncomfortable or at dis-ease, so to speak, by sitting and being still. There's no right or wrong or superior practice. This I'd like to stress as well, because I believe each and every one of us, and there's many meditation techniques out there, you find the technique that works for you, that resonates with you, and use that. They all will work. They help. Every one of us is going to experience thoughts. This idea that you're going to bliss out and be in a state of nirvana has really sidetracked a lot of people, because they have falsely been told or believed that when you meditate, you're supposed to be in a state where you have no thoughts at all. And that's not the case. It's learning to slow down the number of thoughts, observe thoughts. Meditation is simple and it's easy. So some of the key health benefits, again, that have been quantifiably validated by science, is that it helps reduce depression, lowers high blood pressure, reduces hyperactivity, and reduces the risk of heart disease and stroke. And you can imagine, if I go back to that initial comment about it, the number one benefit of meditation being the reduction of stress and anxiety, you can see, if you're feeling less stressed and less anxious and you're breathing better, how that you can see your blood pressure would lower. It also helps reduce pain, enhances your immune system, which I've mentioned before, because you are pausing, you're giving your body and mind a chance to rest, recharge, and come back to your center. So you're actually bringing back that energy and vitality. Improves your sleep, which I've mentioned. And surprisingly to some of you, you may not know this, but meditation has been scientifically proven, and I know there's been many studies around the world where people have been tested and who have been long-term sufferers of migraines. They may actually be on medication or even have to get injections for their migraines. And what they found is that after a 6-week meditation practice, they were able to not only eliminate the need for the injections and for the medicine, but their migraines almost reduced to nothing. And I can vouch for this myself because I used to be a migraine sufferer. But ironically, and again, this is about trusting your practice, I didn't actually connect the dots until about 6 months in when I looked at my husband, Paul, and I said, oh my gosh, I've not had a migraine. It was such an epiphany for me because it had become a part of my life. I was used to having them. And then all of a sudden I realized I haven't had one for the last 6 months. And finally, and for a lot of people, this excites them, long-term meditators, they've actually, they've actually studied. And when I define the word as a long-term meditator, this is those people who've been meditating for 5 years or longer with a consistent practice. They actually test at having a chronological age of being 12 years younger than their actual biological age. Okay, so their DHEAS levels, which is a marker that they use for anti-aging in the scientific community, those levels, when they test, come in at 12 years younger than your chronological age. So this is all of this all starts coming together. Our thoughts are so powerful. And what you start to see, and as I mentioned earlier, how our thoughts impact every area of our life, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So if we take our thinking into the future, what tends to happen if we're always worrying about the future or what's next, we tend to have a tendency to lean towards being anxious or creating more anxiety in our life. If we live in the past and we think we should have, we could have, I wish I had, that tends to lead to depression because you can't go back into the past and change anything. So what we want to do is start experiencing more present moment awareness. Does this sound good for you? Happier and healthier lives are generated with a meditation practice. So after 20 years of teaching meditation to professional athletes, international brands, and thousands of students from all walks of life, I can tell you that this practice is for you. Now you may ask, but how do I implement a meditation practice and apply it to my life? So I am so excited to finally announce that after years and years of my own experience, my teaching, my background, I have created a unique online 6-week meditation course that you can do from the comfort of your own home, according to your schedule with lifetime access. So essentially, I've spent the last 20 years developing this course, which gently guides you as the teacher. It comprises easy to follow practices to develop more self-love and self-care in your life. It's not just an online course. You have access to a group of like-minded people on the same journey and live coaching sessions by myself. The course will allow you to become more present. It is going to help you develop inner awareness and generate more happiness and less stress in your life. This 6-week guided meditation course is going to provide you with in-depth audio support and instruction. You're going to learn about self-love practices, the importance of prioritizing yourself and beginning to remember who you are and what makes you tick. And this is incredibly empowering. Deep relaxation will be experienced by reducing your stress and anxiety through a series of simple but highly effective guided meditations. How to be the best version of yourself. This phrase gets thrown around a lot, but in the course, the daily practices allow you to become more present and mindful in your daily life, so you're able to step out into your world, into your family, being that best version of yourself. You'll have weekly live group check-ins with me, and I am guaranteeing now that the meditation mindset will reduce stress, reduce anxiety, improve communication, improve sleep, and create more time in your day. Again, the big paradox, if you were to embrace this practice as a consistent tool on a daily basis. The 4 amazing benefits of meditation mindset program, the key things that you're going to learn from my program are the meditation sanctuary, facing the 4 primary fears, the 3 practices of self-love, and the bridge to happiness. In the meditation sanctuary, the program is going to gently guide you on a journey of self-discovery. It's going to allow you to tap into your inherent strengths and make you realize you are more powerful than you know, and all of your answers are within. And it's going to help you increase your ability to stay present. We're going to learn about facing the 4 primary fears. We're not aware of how much our fears actually dictate the running of our lives. So in my meditation mindset program, I'm going to cover the fear of sitting still, the fear of missing out, the fear of failure, and the fear of change. The meditation mindset program will teach you step by step how to move through these fears. Fear less, achieve more. You're going to learn about the 3 practices of self-love: kindness to self, acceptance of self, and forgiveness of self. Remembering that your greatest purpose is love of self. In the meditation mindset program, you're also going to learn meditation is a vehicle that allows you to tap into higher states of inner awareness, personal development, and happiness. The program is the bridge to happiness and allows you to tap into more of who you are. Create more happiness not only in your life, but in those around you. So much is going to be achieved over the 6-week course. It's a program that is going to propel you forward on the life that you wish to lead. And as promised, I have more testimonials for you here, which I think are really powerful for you to read because they're firsthand experience of those that have already done my program. And Joanne says, I was fortunate enough to be involved in the meditation mindset over the course of 2017 when I met her at an AFL conference. Being the wife of a former AFL coach, Tami believes there was a need to give support to AFL coaches and wives whilst they live through the journey of the AFL. I personally found the sessions very helpful as they gave me the opportunity to learn mindfulness and different ways to meditate. I now practice breathing techniques daily as instructed by Tami's course, and will continue to meditate as I feel that this course has made me much more calm in both my personal and my working life. And Karen wrote, I can highly recommend Tami's guided meditation mindset sessions. They are so accessible and easy to use any time of day and anywhere, even on your phone. Tami has taught me through her meditation sessions how to relax and quiet my body and mind, to be positive and grateful. We can all choose to give ourselves a little time out from our busy lives. We should try to stop, breathe, and enjoy the moment. We should be putting our happiness and health first. I encourage you to give Tami's meditation sessions a go. I did. I'm sure you will love it. And Jody wrote, Tami Ruse's 6-week meditation mindset program is the perfect introduction to a new life of meditation and mindfulness. To reconnect with your inner self and focus on your own well-being to help with stress is a very powerful gift. I trusted Tami and her program to help me with the incredible stress and pressure I feel on game day, having a husband who is a senior AFL coach. And Peta was speaking about more calm and clarity. She wrote, I'm a single mom who always worked full-time in a really busy management role. I contacted Tami about her meditation mindset course. I was looking for more calm, energy, and clarity, but most importantly, to be more present in my life, particularly for my little girl. I wanted to be more present when I was with her. I signed up for the course and it was amazing. Tami's voice is so soothing. She taught me that regular practice is key. I know I will apply all my learnings from the course to the rest of my life. I can't recommend the course highly enough. So I'd like to give you an analogy here. And perhaps it's something you've not thought about, but we've become so attached to our iPhones or our Androids that we don't even think about not recharging them. Our priorities make sure that we leave home with a fully functioning and charged phone. And the stress that we all experience when our phone isn't charged is real. We have become so attached to being on 24 hours a day that if we don't recharge, our battery goes flat and we can't communicate. And then we start thinking, where is going to be this next place that we can charge this battery? We've got to make sure that it's fully charged so we can get through our day. So my question is, Why don't we treat our own bodies and minds with the same priority as our phones? Perhaps you've never considered the importance of giving our minds a chance to rest and recharge. The risk in not prioritizing our minds is that we are going to suffer fatigue, burnout, stress, and less optimal emotions. All facets of your life are impacted. Preventing all of this from happening starts with practicing the Meditation Mindset Program, which allows you to recharge your batteries daily. If you sign up today and purchase the Meditation Mindset Program, you will receive an ebook version of my Amazon best-selling book, Presence to Power, I Am the Gift. I am so excited to be able to offer this book as an accompaniment to the program. It's going to support you, and I know that it is another powerful tool to help you on your journey to creating more fulfillment and joy in your day-to-day lives. Paul and I wrote a book. We were asked to write a book, and it was titled Sport is Life, Life is Sport. And we were incredibly honored because Deepak Chopra, who some of you may or may not have heard of, but he's considered one of the foremost experts in the mindfulness meditation world. He brought meditation to the West many years ago, and as I said, is considered a foremost expert. He's wrote numerous books on the subject. And he endorsed our book by saying, I must confess I don't understand Australian rules football, but I do understand with certainty the value of sportsmanship and family values that Paul and Tami stand for. And I think what's key here is that we are all looking to enjoy our lives, to have more happiness, to have more fulfillment, and to always put our best foot forward. I truly believe that each and every one of us desires to have a life that is being led with this state of well-being, to feel happier, to feel less stress. And we all want this for our families. So is this time for change? We have a limited amount of spots for this month's Meditation Mindset course. We want to keep this circle intimate, so we've capped it for 20 spots. We want everyone to have the opportunity to share their unique stories of their journey on our weekly live check-ins to ensure everyone gets a unique and engaging experience on my program. We have a limited offer of $797, normally a $1,200 value if you purchase the program today. The key is, though, you need to invest in yourself. We find it so easy to invest in other things that have a temporary satisfaction or benefit to our lives. What we need to learn to do is invest in ourselves, where we're going to have a prolonged and significant impact on our life. So this next step in your wellness journey is the Meditation Mindset Program. Click the link to the right to continue your journey into meditation. Get ready to join a circle of other like-minded individuals looking to discover the power of meditation just like you, creating that bridge to happiness. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you soon.